Hi there, so this video is titled The Power and Folly of Radical Honesty, which is going to entail telling a little bit of a story. So, a little over a year ago, then I did a video titled Radical Honesty in Relationships, and it just, popped into my head to talk about, this concept of being radically honest, of not letting those little white lies slide of how you really feel and what you really think about certain things, and engaging in a conscious way in a relationship with someone. And you could even do this, talking about it with the person, like, hey, let's just be more honest with each other and not take things personally, and just try to come closer together through being more transparent and more real with our thoughts and feelings and perspectives. And the sort of framework that I put the video in, or talk in terms of talking about the subject, was a romantic relationship and someone that you're agreeing to have this kind of relationship in. In the video, I said, you might not want to practice this with everybody in your life, because you might find that brings a lot of shit down on you. And so I posted the video and then posted it in a group somewhere, and someone commented and said, just so you know, there's a guy who's sort of has a trademark on the concept of radical honesty, Brad Blanton. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I searched around and watched a couple of his videos, and then did a quick search on Facebook, and he was on Facebook, and so I thought, well, I'll send him my video, see what he has to say. So he wrote back, and he was radically honest, and he said, well, I think your video is a bunch of bullshit. And he didn't elaborate. I kind of got the impression that it was probably because of my sort of qualifying it and saying, well, you might not want to practice this in every corner of your life, but you might want to just do this with someone that you're having a agreement to have this kind of relationship with. But he didn't elaborate that. He just said, oh, I think your video is bullshit. And so I was kind of radically honest in replying, and I said, well, if you want to have an intelligent conversation, feel free to elaborate so I have something to respond to. Because what can I say to someone just saying, I think it's bullshit? And he never wrote back, so that was the end of that. But I wanted to kind of respond to that a little bit fuller, and then make a couple of important points, in my opinion, in the process. So honesty is really one of the, if not the, most important quality that we can have, and the most important thing to strive for. It's, honesty is just what it's all about. Honesty is being yourself, is being real, is the best way to, confront yourself, and to help affect change in others, is to speak your mind and your real perspective and beliefs and opinions, because without honesty, then you have no openness. There's no you can't have real relationships. There's no real intimacy. There's no love without a conscious effort of being honest. And there is so much dishonesty within our society and our relationships, to the extent we don't even realize it. And that's kind of what I'm going to go further into in just a second. But really, honesty and becoming more aware of how we are not always honest is such a crucial part of the spiritual path and the path of self-growth and self-evolution. So really, honesty should be just the kind of foundational concept to keep in mind when it comes to improving oneself and improving the world as a result. However, all that being said, true, complete, total 100% honesty, in my opinion, is damn near impossible, if not impossible. And the reason is because honesty is not true, complete, total honesty of our being. Is not just a matter of speaking one's mind, giving your honest opinion on politics or religion or sex or whatever. That is just the absolute tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to who we are than just our conscious thoughts. And we are so socially programmed, we have no idea. We're like a fish in water who's saying, the ocean, what's the ocean? What are you talking about? Because that's just everywhere. Our social conditioning is just, such a part of our being. We can't separate it out and say, here's who I am without social conditioning. What would that be? We can't even conceive of that. And so much of social conditioning is about self-denial and dishonesty in terms of deny your real feelings, deny your real perspective and your truly, completely honest thoughts. Complete and total honesty would mean, absolute spontaneity with our emotions and feelings in such a way that we can't even imagine what that would really be like. To live in a world where people were just, their honest response in social situations, someone's talking with you and you're not interested in what they're saying, so you just don't say anything in reply. Like, imagine the profound awkwardness that would come about as a result of just that. Someone's talking to you and you just don't talk to them, you just don't say anything because you don't feel like it. That would be true honesty. But give it a try and see how that goes. So, my response to Brad Blanton is, if you think that if you think that there aren't going to be any qualifying, qualifiers on this concept of radical honesty, then I don't think you understand the nature of the soul. Quite simply, that how to be totally, completely wide open, spontaneous, no holds barred, no self-denial, no restrictions on our behavior at all. We don't even know how to do that. So being, a fundamentalist about it, of, I'm always going to be honest, is not realistic. So that would be sort of the folly of radical honesty, is thinking of it in terms of, okay, well, I have to express my thoughts, even if I don't really want to, because I'm being radically honest, and so I'm always going to say, what I think, in any situation. The reality is that we live in a society, and we have our social programming and social conditioning, and we have to balance out the reality of who we are and how we came to be this person in the course of much trial and error of saying the wrong things and expressing the wrong feelings and getting a lot of shit for it, and thus denying ourselves in the process. We have to acknowledge and be aware of that reality, even as we are striving to be more honest and even radically honest. But sort of choose your battles is kind of what I'm getting at here. Is and obviously do whatever you want to do, but I don't live my life seeking to confront everyone that I disagree with and pick battles left and right in the cause of being radically honest. I'm seeking to find that balance of recognizing where social boundaries are and seeking to expand and push them in being as honest as I can, while simultaneously realizing this isn't a situation where I feel like getting embroiled in a controversy and very likely triggering people and getting a lot of shit dumped on me, because I'm going to try to be radically honest with people who have no conception of what that is and have no interest in it. So there you go. Just some things to think about in terms of balancing out that idea of seeking to be more real, more raw, more open, bearing your soul, and pushing the envelope, as they say, pushing the boundaries, while being, soft and easy on yourself in a way of acknowledging the realities of the world and the society that we live in, and working with it as it is. So there you go. Have a good one. Take care.